Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Tuesday, 11th February 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi, and of course, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.
And I am Akinlabi Holder, and welcome to another day of Tobago Updates morning show.
Right, Akinlabi, it's Tuesday morning. And I felt like if the months, we on the 11th of February, I know it's the shortest month.
Yes.
For me, as we mentioned, January flew by. And now here we are again, almost at the middle of February.
Well, you know, February going even faster now.
Right, well, that's what we're talking about, because before we came on air, we're talking about plans for Friday, and everybody know what Friday is.
Of course.
So, we getting almost to the middle of the month, almost to the end of the first quarter of 2025. And I know a lot of persons had their plans, their New Year's resolutions, all these types of things that they wanted to do. How are you in terms of, have you been able to measure the goals that you have set, set your timelines? Perhaps you wanted to complete something at the end of the first quarter. Where are you where that is concerned?
Well, I don't really do New Year's resolutions because I realized over the years, my New Year's resolutions just fall apart in the first week of January. So I really set goals based on how it settles on my heart. And I can tell you for 2025 so far, I've been achieving those goals. Right,
because we have been remaining consistent, and Brianna will continue to tell us about that word consistency this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lovely show lined up for you today, and we do hope that you could stay with us throughout the entire programming this morning. But before we get into that, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. David Thomas, former Chief Divisional Fire Officer of the Tobago Division of the Fire Service, is humbled to be selected as the Tobago People's Party candidate for Tobago East in the upcoming general election. He has planned to start campaigning soon, emphasizing his strong track record of serving the people. Thomas expressed gratitude for the chance to serve Tobago and vowed to deliver results. The TPP announced his selection after a rigorous screening process. Thomas will face PNM's Ayanna Webster-Roy, while PDP leader Watson Duke has yet to reveal his candidates. Up next, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced plans to engage the new U.S. administration on the Dragon Gas project, crucial for TNT's energy security. Speaking at the Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference, he highlighted regional energy collaboration with Venezuela, Guyana, Grenada, Suriname, and Barbados. He noted a projected U.S. $10.2 billion energy investments from 2024 to 2027. Rowley defended Petrotrin's restructuring, citing profits from Heritage Petroleum and Paria fuel trading. He expects refining bid negotiations to conclude by February and anticipates expanding TNT's maritime territory for resource exploration. And finally, 21 bands competed in the 2025 National Panorama Median Conventional Band preliminaries last week. However, 14 advanced to the semi-finals. Among them, 3 Tobago-based bands, Cats and Jammers Steel Orchestra, Dixieland Steel Orchestra, and NGC Steel Explosion Orchestra, secured spots in the semi-final. The semi-finals are set for this Sunday at the Queen's Park, Savannah, Port of Spain, with all 3 Tobago bands participating in the competition. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Brianna, for our news there in 90 seconds. And to your top story, finally, we get at least one name from the TPP, the candidate for Tobago East there for the general election. I wonder what is keeping them back for Tobago West. We want to know. And the funny thing is that there are only 2 nominees for Tobago West. So what is the challenge there? We're waiting to hear. We want to know what is happening. And, of course, we're looking forward to see what their strategy is going into the general election. I know you said that Mr. Thomas there is going to begin his campaign. So I'm waiting to hear what his campaign mandates are as he prepares to go into that general election. I mean, as a hot seater.
Yes.
The two Tobago seats are hot seats for this general election. It could, determine the outcome of the election this year. I mean, what are you guys thinking or feeling or, about the results from the TPP and still having to wait for the Tobago West candidates?
I think for the Tobago West seat, they're being very, very, very cautious because they know that the incumbent is well entrenched and they really have to think carefully about the candidate, make sure that the candidate is the perfect fit in order for them to really compete against the PNM in these general elections.
Abiana, what are your thoughts?
I share the same thoughts with Mr. Holder, but I was just wondering, probably, why didn't they just send the two? I just being devil's advocate.
Why didn't they send it to?
Yes.
I don't think that is, legal, constitutionally legal.
Yes,
so it's not possible for them to send it to. But I mean, Akinlabi, if we go in on what you're saying, that they had to ensure that the candidate they send is strong enough, paraphrasing here, to come up against the Tobago West seat. Is it that the candidate in the East doesn't have to be as strong? I'm not saying that he isn't strong, but the fact that they released a name and it was out of 6 names. So how was it easier to select 1 from 6 as opposed to selecting 1 from 2?
Well, maybe that's because the candidates in the East, they were more set on who they wanted in the East. But perhaps the 2 candidates in the West, they're very close in terms of viability for going up for elections.
Well, we just wait to see how it rolls out, to see what is happening there. But I know that you guys want to talk about PAN. So we're going to shift gears to PAN this morning. So give us all the updates on the PAN, Akinlabi.
Well, all 3 of the medium bands in Tobago qualified for the semi-finals. And, my favorite band, Cats and Jammers, they topped the prelims nationally. So we're really excited about that. All 3 bands supposed to be going out to perform on Sunday, the 16th. And we really hope that they even get into the finals, which would be right here in Tobago on the 23rd of February.
So Tobago will be lit that weekend. I mean, Tobagonians are already hyped. As I mentioned before, once we take a national stage, we're all rallying together. So let's see how that unfolds. Come out in your numbers. Biana, I'll be looking for you there. I might not be there, but don't worry. I got eyes on you guys. And I hope that, we can represent the way that we usually do. Usually when they have the finals in Tobago, it's a really good time, here on the island. So the island will be buzzing and we look forward to great and marvelous things happening there. All right, Biana, thank you so much for being on set with us this morning and bringing the news in 90 seconds. But ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And we start off the celebration with the man, Mr. Drew Dyer. Drew Dyer is celebrating a birthday today. Drew, happy birthday to you. We have our birthday today indeed. And of course, from your family here, yes, at Tobago Updates Television, we say happy birthday to you. And we do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today. We pray God's blessings upon your life. And we do hope that whatever you do this year, that you walk in purpose and that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday season. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Kenneth Punchin Thomas, the famous Calypsonian, and as we can see, political activist. We wish you the best in your birthday. We wish you the best for the day, for the coming year, and may God's richest blessings be upon you, Mr. Thomas. Don't drink too much of that punching, though.
Of course not. All right, next is a beauty. Well known in the events and wedding industry, destination wedding industry, Mrs. Asha Mars Lewis. Yes, Asha, we want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I know that the celebration today will be done in fine style, and I do hope that you experience the love that comes with celebrating a birthday. We pray birthday blessings on you and that your hands continue to be blessed and you continue to create marvelous events and marvelous experiences for your wedding clients. So happy birthday to you, Asha Mars Lewis of Asha Mars Weddings.
Happy birthday to former Olympian Sheridan Kirk, former Olympian and now well-known in the business fraternity as well in the event space. Mr. Kirk, we wish you the best on your special day and we hope that the rest of the year looks bright as today is.
A man that is larger than life itself, Mr. Sheridan Kirk, my good friend, happy birthday to you. And I know for certain, I don't know what part of the globe Sheridan is, but I know for certain whatever he's doing today, you all watch out. Watch out for the videos and the photos that will come. Happy birthday to you, Sheridan Cook. And of course, if you are celebrating a birthday, you're celebrating an anniversary, a promotion, a retirement, whatever you are celebrating, we join in the celebration with you, and we remind you to include God in your celebration, because he is the sole reason why there's even anything to celebrate. So all the best to all of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with this morning in studio?
Well, this morning we have Acting Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin. He will be in to speak with us about the TTPS updates. And after that, we have some trouble brewing. Curtis Douglas, President of ATFA, and Watson Duke, political leader of the PDP, will be in to talk with us about compensation from last year's oil spill.
Right, and you know, yesterday they had the press conference there.
Yes.
And so we're going to be talking about the things that came through the conversation, the facts that we have, the information we have, and of course to bring from them you know, their strong points, their opinions, I mean, their feelings, because you saw feelings and emotions there in that press conference yesterday. And so, of course, more than the emotions, you also want to see the facts, where we are and where we are going from here. So we're going to have that conversation, and we do hope that all of you viewers can stay with us as we go through the paces. But of course, we have to go for a quick break before we begin conversations in studio this morning. So whether you're viewing right here in Tobago, in Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, England, all of Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, we invite you at this point in time to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back, and as we come back, up next is Acting COP Junior Benjamin.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. I am Adana Kumbi, and we begin conversations this morning. We head straight on over to the acting top cop, yes, the acting commissioner of police, Mr. Junior Benjamin. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
A pleasant morning to you and to all your listening audience. It's a privilege to be here.
Of course, and it is long coming. We've been wanting to have this conversation with you at the earliest hour, but the time is now. And so, of course, let's start off by saying congratulations to you in your appointment as Acting Commissioner of Police. But of course, we have to hit the ground running. Unless you were living under a rock, viewers, you would be aware that a situation took place in Tobago just about 2 weeks ago, where the now suspended Commissioner of Police, earlier, with Christopher, was under investigation for a matter. And what I want to talk about, Top Cop, is the reason for the investigation and detaining the Commissioner of Police and later leading to suspension. Based on the information we have, we were told that weapons were procured for an agency without authorization. Correct?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
That is what we have. That weapons were procured for an agency without the proper authorization, and that was the reason that led to the investigation, detaining, arrest, and then after the release due to insufficient evidence. And so here we are today. So I want you to give us a lead up as to that situation, how that was allowed to take place, and how we ended up in this position.
All right. First of all, let me start off by I always like to appreciate the fact that God has given me this opportunity to serve my country and by extension the TTPS as the Acting Commissioner of Police, and I want to just give God the praise for that. That being said, I want to also stand on the fact that today I am here because of the hard work of the former Commissioner of Police, or I should say the Commissioner of Police, because as far as I'm concerned, she is not suspended. Her duties might cease, but that's what I know. I don't know to say that it is suspended. So she is still the Commissioner of Police, and I would want to respect that. And I want to really honor her at this time in terms of the work that she has done in the police service and continue to really she laid a foundation, and even today I stand on that because of the investment in that she played in the police service and in my life. I am here today, so I want to just start there and really appreciate the Commissioner of Police, Ma'am Erla, here with Christopher. Ma'am, that being said, I really would like to be very cautious if we're going down that road in terms of the situation. I have always maintained that this is a matter under investigation. Because it is a matter under investigation, I would really not want to make further comments. I want to just put it out there that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, as we deal with this matter, there is a protocol and a procedure that is normally followed. It doesn't matter who it is. Nobody is above the law, and it goes to the highest person on the ladder that is involved in any governmental agency. Nobody is above the law, to the lowest person. We ensure that whenever there is a report, there is an investigation. If that investigation involves a person from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, there is a protocol that is followed where we must go to the Director of Public Prosecution, which is the DPP, and he guides the process. We ensure and we continue to ensure that we follow those protocols, and we would, at least under my tenure, I would ensure that there is a thorough investigation into this matter. And as we follow those protocols, we will always abide by the decision of the DPP, who will guide us accordingly. So that is all I would want to say on this matter. This is not something that the TTPS is happy about. We really would like to see this situation dealt with in accordance with the rule of law, and therefore we await the process, and we want to encourage the public to don't jump to conclusions. Let's just wait and allow the process to be revealed and let the process flow so that we can see the outcome, and that at the end, the law, I think, will reveal the truth of the matter.
Commissioner, you're saying let us not jump the gun and wait for the process to happen. We're dealing with a public who is highly opinionated. They have their opinions, and they will go based on the information they have. And the information they don't have, of course, speculation will rise. Questions will rise when you don't have the information, and it will be put out there in the public space. So the people have been asking, and they want to know, and that is why there's so many talks still. Although this happened about 2 weeks ago, there's still talks in the atmosphere where this is concerned. Questions are raising like there are other officers who committed offenses, who were charged and were still able to execute their duties, and this is not the case where Mrs. Harewood is, Christopher is concerned. And so these questions are still there. How do we determine whether an officer is going to be suspended? And I know this is from the DPP or the Police Service Commission. How do we determine if somebody is going to be on suspension, if they're going to continue to execute their services, and they have going through, they have a charge is laid against them? How do we determine that?
Again, it is important to know that the TTPS, especially the top executive, we are account to the Police Service Commission. The Police Service Commission, they are the ones responsible to determine the persons who should or should not operate within their functions. They are the ones that will determine disciplinary action against especially top of officials within the police service and so forth. Therefore, this is something that I think only the Service Commission can probably speak to, and therefore I would not dare venture into that zone. I just want to assure the public the path in terms of the police service. We are to ensure that there is effective intelligence. We must ensure that we have what we call effective investigations and accurate investigations and thorough investigations into matters. And therefore, that is what the police is called to do. We are not here to determine innocence or guilt. It is about getting the evidence, getting the facts, and then a person goes, once there's enough, you go to the DPP. If there's enough for a prima facie case to be made, the DPP would, based on the level, all right, once it reaches a threshold that is acceptable, the DPP will make certain pronouncement. If it is not, he would ask for certain things to be done, and we would just simply comply. So all we're doing is complying with instructions from the DPP. We are guided by them, and we will continue to be guided by them even as we move forward.
All right, Commissioner, and now you have been given your instruments as Acting Commissioner of Police. And so the buck is with you now. And as you are aware, the situation, I wouldn't go back to it, but the situation has caused a sort of an upsurge in terms of public confidence and trust in the TTPS, right? And I see you lifting your shoulders there with this direction. But how do you now, coming into this position in the way that you did, how are you planning on restoring that level of confidence in the public in the TTPS, knowing that we've had so many situations happening, especially in the last half of last year, both in Trinidad and Tobago, and then this situation happening internally, and now you're sitting at the helm and having to remind us that, listen, the TTPS is here for one and all. How do you do that?
Well, first of all, I want to just remind persons that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is one of the most resilient organizations that have ever existed. We have been through the rough times before, and we have weathered those storms. Whenever we talk about resilience from an organizational standpoint, is understanding that there are times that you are going to face bad weather, but understand that it is not what happens to you, but what happens in you that is important. Within the organization, we are becoming stronger and stronger. The officers, especially I can speak to even at the present situation, they rallying around of the top executive as well as the executive of the police service and the divisional commanders is tremendous. There is a wonderful coming together, and you see it is in the midst of all of this negative situation that you recognize that there's a level of change taking place on the inside. A stronger, more potent police service is being created. You recognize that you have to greater innovation and improvement is taking place as we put greater structures together. At the same time, with all of this, we have to ensure that there's an SOE and we have to function. Just the very fact that we are able to see some small wins is telling you that this organization is much more than one individual. This organization is about a nation, and it's about a nation that needs a level of law enforcement that is able to bring some level of transformational change so that with the reduction in crime, we can see a better way of life. That is our vision, to make every place safe in Trinidad and Tobago. It is my responsibility to ensure, one, that we have focused leadership, two, professional policing, and three, high quality service at all times. If we can get those things in alignment, I am certain that the public will naturally will build their faith and confidence in the police service. I know it is low, and we are not hiding about that. But what is happening is that more and more you're recognizing that as you see the changes taking place. I think more and more when we look outside here, we are recognizing that there's a slowly returning to form in terms of what is happening and how we're getting the feedback. People are now coming on board to be part and parcel of the change program that they're seeing right now in the TTPS.
Mr. Benjamin, you stated, well, this is you're starting your term in office. Tell us, what would your first 6 months look like at the helm of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service?
All right, and again, for me, the first 6 months, I like to use what I call my 5P approach to leadership. All right, within the first 6 months, I'm expecting at least 3 of those P's to be revealed. The first one is where we deal with purpose. I want to ensure that, again, we bring back the organization to a level of purpose where we understand that sometimes your purpose has to be bigger than your pain. Our purpose is really about reducing crime. It is about ensuring that we build that community engagement. It is about ensuring that we seek to strengthen our stakeholder partnership. So therefore, I want to really ensure that we, understand the purpose, and then we want to ensure that we seek to develop those principles that are very critical for us to ensure that as an organization, we are consistent in what we produce. So therefore, whatever we do, we want to ensure that we do it with pride. We want to be professional. We want to have that respect, integrity, dignity, excellence. We want to ensure that all that we do, that there is a brand that goes. When you hear TTPS, it is about bringing a brand. It must not be something that people must be proud to be a TTPS officer. And therefore, I want to build the morale of my officers. That will be very high on my agenda at this time. And therefore, I'm starting by going and meet with all the persons at the different levels in the police administration building. And then I'm going to the all the divisions to meet with those officers. I've met with my executive. I have met with my divisional officers, and it's about now going to the various divisions, meeting with the officers, hearing their concern, and dealing with those things. I want to also ensure that our processes are something that it's in an order, such an order that persons must not retire and then struggle to to get their pension and so forth. There are certain processes within the service I certainly think that we need to work on, and therefore I'm going to be looking at these processes and seeing how we can tighten them, how we can improve them, because one of the things is that people tend to be very much frustrated when these processes do not work properly. There are some people saying that they have not gotten back pay and so on. I have to ensure that it hasn't changed. I see myself as a commissioner for all, and therefore it's going to looking at the special reserve officers, looking at the full-time, looking at the civilian staff, and ensure that what they need that I provide. So I'll be looking at those things. And the last set of things, I want to build the relationship among my officers. So therefore, the fourth P has to deal with person, the individual. And then the last P is that we're going to look at the performance, so that we want to end the year strong and ensure that we improve our performance as an organization.
Now, Mr. Benjamin, you stated in a previous interview that you have a zero tolerance policy towards corruption, and we know the perception of corruption within the TTPS is very high among the public. What exactly do you plan to do to root out corruption within the TTPS?
Right, and let me just say, I think that's a perception, right? To say it is very high, right? But nevertheless, I am of the firm opinion, even in Trinidad and Tobago, that it is less than 1% of Trinidad and Tobago that really creates the problem in relation to crime. When you look at it, it's less than 1%. But I'm just saying, even if you say 1%, it means that 99% of Trinidad and Tobago are persons who are law-abiding citizens. Likewise, I'm saying, I do not believe that it is the minority of the police service that is corrupt, and therefore it is important that we don't take the minority and make it the majority. All right, I think that that's a misnomer, and that is something that must change. But nevertheless, the perception is a reality for some, and therefore the point is, as a zero tolerance situation, is what I am saying is that once a person it is proven to be involved in any form of corruption, I am saying we are going to be ensuring that the investigations are done, and if the person must be charged, they will be charged, and there will be absolutely no compromise where that is concerned. We are not going to cover up. There must be a level of transparency, integrity, and accountability in the way that we do things, and therefore I'll be strong on that. I am also saying, if they are not going to be charged, they must be disciplined. I am saying I'm expecting discipline to be done by our tribunals, and I'm expecting that the penalty should not be a slip, a hit on the wrist. It must be something that speaks to, hey, that what you're doing is wrong, and therefore I'm expecting that the commensurate disciplinary penalties must be proportionate to the offense that has been committed. And I think when we start there, we will see some change.
Mr. Benjamin, talking about disciplinary, right? You're saying, of course, no level of corruption, working with integrity, and that there must be some investigation, there must be a charge or some type of disciplinary action. What are some of these actions? Because you haven't identified any. What are some of the disciplinary actions that can be taken should a matter of corruption arise within the TTPS?
All right. So now, understand, there are two limbs to when you say the word corruption, right? So I'm saying when an investigation is done, if that investigation shows that a criminal offense has taken place, then what happens is that the PSB, all right, they would then take over that investigation and charges would be laid. If there is no criminal, but we believe there's a breach of the regulation, then the disciplinary side kicks in. And in the disciplinary side, there are two limbs. There are one that deals with a 3-man tribunal, which is the more severe sort of discipline. And there's a 1-man tribunal where, again, it deals with the lesser side in terms of discipline. In the 3-man tribunal, if they really believe that the breach is very severe, it can lead to where they recommend to the commissioner that the person be dismissed, and the commissioner looking at the facts could then determine that the person should be dismissed. All right, that's how severe it can be. But you can have other punishments that could be handed down, where again fines, person could be probably even demoted in rank, and all the different things also can go with it. So there's a series of different things. We have a DO 14 of 2008 that guides the operation of the disciplinary procedure.
Mr. Benjamin, we've seen in Tobago where there's a rise in the level of criminality on the island, particularly among our young men. Is there a specific strategy for tackling the crime situation, sort of nipping it in the bud in Tobago before it gets worse?
All right. So I want to, again, say that I respect your views. I am not sure that I might support that, right? If we're looking at the present statistics, I don't know if it will show that there is an increase, all right? I know last year there was. Nevertheless, I can say when we look at Tobago, certainly coming out of last year, we saw an increase, all right? So if we're talking about last year, certainly, we're talking about we are into this year, and already we've seen a decrease. If we look at Tobago, Tobago had at least 3 murders up to this time last year. We have 2. So I am saying that it is down. When we look at our overall, we have at least up to yesterday, I think we had about 38 murders. We against 55 last year. All right, and in 2023 we had 73. So again, I'm not sure if I can agree when we make these statements, because again, I'm not sure, because the data is showing something different. That being said, people don't really care about your data. People is what they perceive, and therefore I am saying the question, however, is what is being put in place, and I am saying that the TTPS, one, we are allowing the data to guide us. We cannot be moved by emotions and what we think. We are saying that there must be what we call intelligence-led, evidence-based solutions to crime. and therefore the data must guide us. So therefore we allow the data that speaks to where these crimes are being perpetrated. That is where we will focus our attention. And we have to understand that even in this situation, we need to look at what are the probable causes of these things. So it's not just about murders, but then if the murders are happening because of domestic situation, it's different than if it is gang. So we just can't just say, well, okay, we're dealing with gang situation. We have to look at the probable causes, and then we are going to now put the strategies in place to deal with that. Welcome to Tobago, I mean, that's my heartbeat. I'm from Tobago. So we are looking at Tobago very, very carefully. And again, I am constantly in contact with the ACP Tobago, and Senior Superintendent Eli and the team across there. And they are taking a very, very critical look at the crime situation, and we are putting in necessary strategies to take the young men off the streets. We have our youth clubs. We have different activities that we are engaging in to ensure that we have those young people being more active and becoming more productive citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin, for coming on this morning. And of course, you know that the eyes of Trinidad and Tobago and the entire diaspora is now on the TTPS as we recover from the situation that recently happened here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are hoping that our confidence in your service will be restored. After having heard what you said this morning, we do look forward to see actions and strategies being implemented to ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago feel safe and confident in the TTPS once again. So thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day and all the best in your new position.
Thank you so very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mr. Junior Benjamin. He's recently been installed as the Acting Commissioner of Police here in Trinidad and Tobago following a recent incident in the TTPS. If you are aware of what has happened there, of course, we know the situation as it were. We have to go for a short break, but guess what? The photo of the day, can you guess where this photo was taken place? This photo was submitted by Kerry Walcott. Can you guess where this photo was taken place? If you do know, you can leave comments on our Facebook live stream or on our YouTube channel. You can also WhatsApp in your answer if you think you know on 284-6597. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Village General Hardware, right here in Tobago, located in Tobago Local Road, you guys. So here's what for all of my Tobago customers, you guys know for the longest while we haven't had a big sale here in Tobago. That's going to change. You know why? Because from this Thursday, right, February, Thursday the 13th until Saturday the 15th, we are going to be having a 3-day blowout sale, mega sale, you guys. Everything here going to sell out real fast. You could just imagine right now you're getting
Love, soca, zest, and steam. Thursday, 13 February, the night before Valentine's Day. Fellas, come out with me. Ladies, you and your team to experience one of TNT's most requested artists, Young Brother.
She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up
Young Brother live at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
I wanna wine on your bumper, I know you like steam.
Young Brother live for an uncut, up-close performance.
You make it jump and you make it jump.
Alongside DJ Hottie, Ish and Selector Father, MC Sticks, King Legal, Busy and DJ Fusion. Early bird tickets, 3 ladies on 1 ticket, $450. Single, $200. Available at Pablo's Supermarket, Argyle, Royal Castle Outlet, Scarborough, Ramabar, Joefield Junction, Mongrace, Crown Point Gas Station, and Village Vibes Bar. Call 750-6258 or 686-0898 for one night only. The King of Steam, Young Brother live, the night before Valentine at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
This is what I like.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning. Why am I saying afternoon? I feel as if I've already had a very long day, but we continue conversations this morning in studio. As you heard in our introduction, my co-host Akin Labi said that there's trouble brewing, but is there really? We're going to have that conversation this morning. We speak with Mr. Curtis Douglas, the president of the All Fisherfolk Association, and Mr. Watson Duke, political leader of PDP and an assemblyman. Let's not forget that. Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to you all. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to all your viewers and listening public. You know, it's sad that, I have to be here this morning to really let the people be the judge of what is taking place in Trinidad, and also more so Tobago, because, we are a republic and we all love each other. But this morning I come here to express our sentiment and the burning issue that is faced by victimization, nepotism by our leader, Mr. Fali Chavez and his team. Now, before, I don't want anybody to cast any aspersion upon anyone, but this is just a real matter what is going on. So I know Mr. Duke will have something to say, but let me just jump right into it, because I want everyone to understand, and I'm going to speak very slowly so that everyone can understand, and I will try to hold back my emotions when I speak, because this is a very emotional time, not for me only, but for the fisher folks and the people of Tobago. It's been almost 2 years now. It's over a year.
Over a year.
Over a year, going to 2 years. From That's 25, right. Yeah. It will be 26.
That's right.
And we already passed 24. So right. It's over a year. We are approaching 26. And also we have something like about 6 months again, if so much, before a big election in Tobago. Make no mistake about it. From the announcement of the retirement of the Prime Minister to the non-payment and the victimization of the fisher folk.
So let's get into the actual issue. We know that just about a year ago, an incident took place in Tobago. There was an oil spill, a massive oil spill in Tobago. And we do know that your AMPLIA was contracted to assist in the cleanup. We
Yes.
do know that.
Yes.
We also know that fishermen suffered
Yes.
losses as a
Yes.
result of the oil spill. So
Yes.
those are the two entities that we kind of representing here in this conversation this
Yes.
morning.
Yes.
Right? So we want to talk now about the compensation part of it, because that's the issue right now, the burning issue in terms of payments and compensation.
I don't know what is that, I don't know what is that, because that is missing. That word that they call, or that abbreviation, or that factor you put in the compensation, that doesn't lies on the lips or the actions of Mr. Chavez.
For which organization? For AFTA or for the Fisherfolk?
AFTA do not need any compensation.
Right, so they need to be paid for the services
AFTA
rendered.
need to be paid for the services
Were
rendered.
they paid?
We were paid part of our money.
What is the total bill for AFTA?
The total bill in everything you're talking about that we owed, or what was paid?
What was owed to you for the services rendered for the cleanup?
6-point-something million is owed to ADFA, and only part of that
What
was
is the
paid.
part?
The part was he paid this year he paid 1.9 something million, and before he paid 1 million roughly. So he owes probably almost $5 million left, and we still haven't received that. So here before ATFA, they paid Kaizen $18.7 million.
Tell them.
Tiger Tanks 15.4 million. Ambipa, $4.3 million. Ambipa had also leave because they didn't even know what they was doing. They were totally lost. So, and they was paid in full. But the Tobago contractors and the all Tobago Fisherfolk, who was the first responders, who get out of the bed 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure that we safeguard Tobago, are still being owed. And even when he, on the 24th of January, when he made his announcement that he would pay us, and he owes us and admit us, he still cannot give a date. How dare could you, as a chief secretary, owe the people and cannot tell them when you're paying, but you're paying your other counterparts in full, right? So we is the scapegoat, we is the stepchild, we is the one you walk upon. Well, this morning I'm saying enough is enough.
Mr.
Not having that.
Mr. Douglas, let me ask you this, right? In terms of the arrangement or the agreement for payment, I know that this was an occurrence nobody expected, nobody planned for. So AFTA had to show up, AFTA had to help.
No, we don't help. No, we worked.
You worked. You worked. Assisting to the cleanup of the situation that took place in the island of Tobago for the sake of the persons who reside here, right? So you're helping. You're lending a hand to help, but you have to be paid, right? So you came on the spot, you said, right, we have what it takes, we're going to do the work. What was the arrangement in terms of payment? What was the discussion? Was there a discussion? Was there an agreement? Did you determine we're going to work? We're going to determine how much it's going to cost after. You're going to pay us 50%. You're going to pay us 100%. You're going to pay us in 8 months, 6 months, 10 months, a year. What was the discussion in terms of payment?
The discussion was called emergency. You know what's an emergency? When you have to get out of your bed, like when the police come for you.
I understand that, but what I'm saying...
What you give me a chance to explain. So that the listening public could understand. They heard your view. They need to hear my view.
It was not a view, it was a question.
It was a question. So I'm answering the questions.
Go ahead.
Right? So the question is, if there was arrangement. Yes, there was arrangement. The arrangement was we send in our invoices every week. So every week we send in our invoices. We supposed to get paid by every week or 2 weeks. When our invoices is being sent in, we send in our invoices with pictures of us working and the cost factor of the work that was being done. So that's supposed to be paid every week. And every week we ask about it. We asked Mr. Alan Short about it every week. He said every Friday.
And Mr. Douglas, before you go further, let me just say, as an expert in labor law, and I spent a great deal of time leading workers in this country, emergency work demands emergency pay. Understand that? Emergency work demands emergency pay. And there's no delay in that. You must cut all the cheese and get down to that money and pay people because it is emergency work.
I understand and I appreciate that, but let me just ask you this again, Mr. Douglas.
What I don't like is the way you are talking down fishermen.
No, not at all.
As if they deserve to be paid late.
Mr. Duke, allow me to ask
they should not be paid.
I'm asking the question so I can get the answers. Allow me to ask the question.
Okay.
So the arrangement is that you'll be paid weekly. You submit your invoices and you're supposed to be paid weekly.
Was your invoices
that was
submitted?
Once the invoices and your invoices were submitted as per arrangement.
Over a year now.
Right. So every week you would submit your invoices.
Every week.
When was the first time you received any type of payment?
Boy, that was in probably March last year. And that came and they said to me,
I would caution you, don't these matters may be subject to a court action. Don't put all your cards out on the table here. This may be.
No, the reason I'm asking this is because I want to know the consistent in terms of how the payments were made. Were they consistent? Because if they're owing this large amount, was it the pay? Just now, let me ask. The first payment, was it a lump sum for a period, an extended period of time?
It was only for 1 month. But what I'm saying, you are angling the narrative as though we are the abuser.
Not
here.
At all.
Wait,
let me get the answers because I need an understanding as well.
So I'm giving you understanding. So you paid. You're asking how they paid us, but they came and they paid Tiger Tanks, Kaizen.
They were paid in full on the first installment? One time?
Listen, we are in 2025. They were paid in full in 2024. And in 2025, we still haven't been paid in full. But hear what? I don't want you to listen, I know it's your thing. Hear what I want. Hear what I'm here for this morning. Right? I'm here for this morning for the fishermen.
That's right.
Right? The fishermen, especially fishermen in Lambo that hasn't been paid. Right? Since last year. And the chief secretary is saying to the fishermen, they need to get to the top ITCOP because ITCOP wrote him and told him not to pay the fishermen. I didn't know, since when an outside entity is controlling or dictating the THA, the Tobago governing party, the governing assembly, and telling them how to pay. Hence the reason why the fishermen in Lambo and Tobago call up unresoundingly, call up on Mr. Watson Duke, because they said to the people, they said to me and to Mr. Duke, we had voted for PDP to represent us for the election. We never vote for no individual, we vote for a party. And you as the founder, and you as the leader, and the people of Tobago are now calling upon Mr. Watson Duke to fix this and fix it now, because it was said to the people that they will fix it. That's the reason why Mr. Duke is here, and I'm calling up to him on live television with the people from Plymouth, from Lescotho, from Culloden, from Lambo, from Scarborough. We are calling upon him now to do something about this, whether he forcing Farley to call an election or whatever the case may be, but we need to fix this, and the fishermen need their money, and they need their money now. That's why Mr. Duke is here to represent, because he is the only one had the tenacity, the spirit to stand up for Tobagonian when they are being victimized, because we are somebody's child. I have a mother, I have a father, and the fishermen have a mother, a father. They have somebody, that's somebody's children, and we're supposed to be treated equally and fairly, because they did not make a phone call or they did not send an email or anything to call to make an oil spill in Tobago. And we don't see why after a year, Farley promised that he is going to fix the Fisherfolk. Instead, if you have 2 million, you need to come into ATFA and let us split that money across the board and let the people of Lambo get fixed, let the vendors get fixed, let the fishermen get fixed. And we call up on Mr. Duke.
So, Mr. Douglas, now we shift gears now to the Fisherfolk.
Yes,
this is in terms of compensation.
Yes.
What conversation was had as it relates to compensation? What was the, I don't know if there's a protocol, if there was a policy implemented in terms of how are we going to compensate? Is there going to be a percentage for compensation? How is it going to be dispersed for the Fisherfolk in Tobago here, where after the incident took place? I don't know if Mr. Duke, you can come in on this conversation as well.
I want to. As an expert in labor law, I will say to my colleague here, do not give your hand away. Any information you say can be used against you, because it will come as if you are speaking truth. This is a matter may end up in court. Right? These persons came out and they did emergency work for emergency pay.
That's after.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When the other entities, the Kaizen and whoever entities did the emergency work, they got emergency pay. Immediately, pronto. All together, a group of Trinidadian contractors got $37 million. Yet the local contractor in Tobago, who was the first respondent to the issue and the last respondent, they have gotten chicken feed. And you're trying to fight them down and say they can't get paid. Why they didn't talk about rules of engagement with the other Trinidad companies? Farley is always doing that nastiness to Tobagonians, and he has to stop.
Yes.
No cookie crow can't come a yard and beat yard foul.
Correct.
All right. So what?
I want to make it plain here. We are going somewhere with this. Cookie crow can't come a yard and beat yard foul. Nobody can come in Tobago and beat Tobago contractors. Let me go a little further than this. It's not the first time. We have seen Trinidad and contractors fly in here, got 25 million contract, $75 million, that's construction or infrastructural contracts. And our Tobago contractors are here, they're giving 520,000 contract, and this kind of madness, and they're catching them and to get paid. Fali has to understand, he has a responsibility to manage the affairs in Tobago for Tobagonians. No, I've said that.
I understand.
Let me answer the question now.
Please do, because we really need to get an understanding as to the compensation for the fisherfolk. That is the matter at hand now. I know a press conference was held yesterday and they expressed their grievances.
Yes.
What is the agreement for compensation? Was there an initial conversation that took place? What did the conversation entail? Because, I mean, people have to...
Let me take you back to this.
Just now, people have to manage the expectations. So me, I need the information so I know how to determine, am I going to get compensated today? Am I going to get compensated tomorrow? How much am I going to get compensated? When, how long am I going to be waiting for this compensation? Did that conversation happen? Because if it didn't happen, then of course the fisherfolk will be like, well, what is happening? So we want to know what was the conversation.
Let me keep it very, very simple. The fisherman has no expectations to manage. None. None whatsoever. Right? None whatsoever. So don't ask the fishermen to manage expectations. They have been managing expectations
I have
for
not
years.
asked them. I'm saying, was a conversation
No, you can't
had?
ask and answer the question. You understand the question? I'm saying to you.
Did they have a
Fishermen
conversation?
have no expectations to manage.
Was a
they
conversation
did emergency
had?
work. They have suffered and have suffered overnight. They must be compensated overnight. If a man get licked down on the road now, we're going to tell him, man, manage his expectations. Because,
that is not what I said.
Because a vehicle had to come from Trinidad to come across on Tobago.
I am asking you, what was
Don't
the
ask them
conversation?
that. Let's ask a different question.
But I have to ask the question, how
Let's
do we
ask
get
a
the
different
answers?
question. The questions we need to ask this morning is, why isn't Farley paying the people and them the money? Why
that is
keeping
why
the
I'm
money up there?
asking the question. What was the conversation?
Leave the fishermen alone. The fishermen need to be paid.
Yeah, what? Farley came out publicly, even on these stations, and made a commitment to the fisherfolk that they would get paid before the end of this year, last year. Farley would have came out in the beginning.
Was any money at all paid to the fisherfolk?
The only thing the fisherfolk would have had.
But why are they concerned about the fishermen money so?
This is what you are here to speak about, so we have to ask the questions.
As if you're trying to catch them.
Mr. Duke, I am asking the questions because I want to know when the fishermen are going to be paid. Have they been paid?
No.
And when are they going to be paid? That's the questions I'm asking.
Over and over already.
So then why are we here? Why are we here?
We are here because Farley need to pay them. To highlight the issue. Farley is too wicked to Tobagonians.
Mr. Duke.
And we want that to be known.
Mr. Douglas.
We call him Duke too.
Have the fisherfolk been...
No, the only thing fisherfolk have ever received was early up in the year last year.
And it's not the full amount.
And no, wait, it was no full amount. He only used this and give them $1,000 voucher. That was the only thing.
One payment?
That was it.
Insulting.
So one payment of $1,000 is what the fishermen got?
Yes, and a food voucher. And he would have promised the people, because we would have took his word and his commitment, because a man stand by his word and his commitment, that he would pay the fisherfolk, the vendors. And he even said, here what, Mr. Douglas, I'm going to help. I'm going to make sure that the fisher folks get paid in full and bring back the fishing, restore back the fishing industry to even better than it is. And so far, no fishermen have received any funding or any form of assistance since then to now. And after that now, he waits almost a year to come back and tell the fisher folk and say, ITOF told him not to pay the fisher folk. You are... Our argument is, you are the chief secretary. You are the one that is in charge. You laying outside somebody from England tell you how to treat your people. ITOF never vote for you. ITOF do have a house here. And this is the problem we have, because he would have made a commitment. He would have made a commitment.
And so the fisherfolk had an expectation that they would be paid.
Not that small, a large expectation that they get paid. So over a year now. So no, over a year now, fishermen is not seeing anything.
So is he saying now that they will not be paid? Is that what he's saying now?
I don't know if
that's what he's doing now. He's not paying them.
He's showing us he's not paying us, but he said he's willing to pay $2 million, and up to now, not even a cent was paid. Not even a penny. So all them fellas with the fishing boat that will get damaged and stuff like that is done. And he even insult to injury. He said if any of the fishermen, due to the advice of Alan Short, any of the fishermen would have worked in the oil spill, even if they're gonna go see, will be excluded. And okay,
wickedness.
Okay. But why it is, even though you're excluded, why it is that no one has been paid? You say you're appointing Linford Beckles to spearhead. Nothing, no fishermen have been talked to. In fact, on the 24th of January, he said he made a big announcement through this station and other station that he would have reached with ATFA to discuss these matters. Up to now, he never met with us to discuss the matters. And the fishermen now are asking the question, are we citizens of Tobago? And Lambo people are saying, is Lambo people the scourge of the society? And Lambo, make no mistake, sell 60% of the fish we consume in Tobago comes from Lambo. So all these vendors was affected, and you promised that you would have paid them. And for to date, not a conversation, not a phone call, not a WhatsApp. But you know what we're saying? We see men running around with big trucks saying they're flying for going for east and going for west, and people hungry, and people can't. And when they're done, they want to say fisherman worrisome and fisherman arguesome. But that is not the case. When I give my word as a gentleman, as a leader, when I'm sitting in authority, I keep to my word. And I keep into my word because I was called upon by the people to represent them. Watson Duke was called upon from outside. The fishermen said, get Mr. Duke, Mr. Douglas, I don't care what you do, get Watson Duke and the PDP, we vote for him. We calling him here to fix it. Hence the reason why Mr. Duke is here. Mr. Duke is not here on anything personal. Mr. Duke is here because the people of Lambo and Tobago is suffering, and they're calling up as a political leader and founder of PDP
Mr. Douglas,
to represent the people.
Let me ask you this, right? What was the last interaction you had with the Chief Secretary in relation to payment and compensation? Or either or?
Let me check my phone, so I'll be able to give you the exact date. When I spoke to him, and he never replied it to me.
Wow.
Right? Because I would have sent him and told him about the money that he's owing us and how much to pay. He boldly and aggressively refused. The last look here. You see what mark there? The 23rd of January 2024. And he said he would have paid.
That's 2025 though.
2025. I call him 2025. No answer. I call him in 2025. So you see, I am making the effort to reach out to him. I'm making the effort to reach out to him because I don't hate anyone. All I'm concerned about is the concern of the fisherfolk and the promise that you make. We are hoping and holding you accountable to it. So we expect you to keep and that onus and the responsibility of a chief secretary and pay the fisherfolk, and don't come and make excuses and say but outside entity is advising you. When we took Orville London to court, which was all Tobago fisherfolk, and we won Orville London in the court, right? And the court appointed and tell Orville London, pay the fishermen them money. Orville London turned and said, no court can tell you how to run the assembly. So you was trying to say to me that Mr. Chavez, the good Speyside boy, the good Adventist boy, right, do not know how to run the assembly by now? After 4 years? Come on. When you say something publicly, honor that. And if you're an Adventist boy, as you say, speak the truth and honor the truth and honor your words. Hence the reason why we call Mr. Joe. We call somebody with honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking with Mr. Curtis Douglas, President of the All Fisherfolk Association here in Tobago, and also Mr. Watson Duke, an assemblyman and political leader of the PDP. And we're talking about payment for after and compensation for the fisherfolk of Tobago after the oil spill, which took place just over a year here in Tobago, still awaiting payments and conversations. Of course, we will keep you updated as to what is happening where that is concerned. We will continue to do the research and investigations to get the information and bring it to you, our viewers. We all want to know what is taking place, and we all want to be sure that we are confident in what is happening and that the persons who have been affected are compensated in the way that they should be. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have to end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, but it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT, which is Good Morning Tobago, and as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
government embraces the Green Revolution at National Energy Conference. Fishermen give Chief Secretary an ultimatum: compensate us or we won't support you. David Thomas, selected as TPP's Tobago East candidate, and Ansel Dennis calls for accountability as court dismisses zipline fraud case. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Monday, 10th February 2025. To a top story this evening. The government is charting a new course in energy development, balancing traditional oil and gas production with a push toward renewable energy. Speaking at the 2025 Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference held at the Hyatt Hotel earlier today, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley outlined his administration's vision for energy security, sustainability, and economic growth. More in this report.
Trinidad and Tobago is making bold strides in shaping its energy future. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley told industrial leaders at the 2025 Energy Conference that the country is positioning itself.
Regardless of how you cut the cake, Tobago has won tonight, yes? Gold is upon the light, so we go with black and gold.
A bit of a hat trick, so it's the same process.
So we're here at Skinner Park in the city of San Fernando for the National Panorama Finals of the Small Conventional Bands. We have 3 Tobago bands in the competition. We have the Tiantec New East Side Dimension, we have First Citizen Tobago Panthers, and we have Uptown Fascinators. So we are hoping that Tobago brings home the title for yet another year. So stay with us as we bring you the highlights. I think some persons were surprised to see Panthers in the top 3. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it called for hard work. If you know that for the last few weeks in Golden Lane, we had some murder, some shootings, and some bad experiences, which hampered our practice and preparation a lot. But we overcame that at the last minute. And, getting these kind of results only shows that, hard work really pays off.
To me, it's a sense of achievement to know where they started to where we have reached. Those kids put in a lot of hard work and dedication, and I think they really deserve this. I feel really good about it, really accomplished about it. So I think from here it's up.
We really wanted to celebrate and honor Tobago's Panthers' success in the season thus far, and when Antonia and the team at Tobago Panthers asked us to come and be a part, we all collectively said yes, we will do it and we will make it fun. It really was fun for us, and we hoping that the band wins.
So I just discovered that Miss Tiny Winey is actually the reigning Miss Lauren Rivet, Rachel Cattell.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
So what was it like being on stage in this capacity?
Well, I mean, obviously it's very different, but still the energy is still the same, the commitment is still the same, and the support for the company, the support for the team, the support for Tobago remains the same as Miss Lauren Rivet 2024 coming from Tobago, and I continue to show my support to all cultural events this year.
As usual, your usual theatrical style. How was this evening's performance?
I'm really satisfied with the performance this evening. We were a lot cleaner than we were in semi-finals. We've tried to focus on cleaning up a lot of the little mistakes that we made in semi-finals just to improve. So we looked at what the judges' remarks were, dealt with those little areas, and then just tightened up on the song, and I think it was executed pretty well.
So you're a captain, but not everybody knows what the captain of a panther.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island.
Tobago Updates. Good morning, Tobago. a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host Chanel Felix, and you know whenever you see me sitting here it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask the questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. David Thomas, former Chief Divisional Fire Officer of the Tobago Division of the Fire Service, is humbled by to be selected as a Tobago People's Party candidate for Tobago East in the upcoming general election. He plans to start campaigning soon, emphasizing his strong record of serving the people. Thomas expressed gratitude for the chance to serve Tobago and vowed to deliver results. The TPP announced his selection after a rigorous screening process. Thomas will face PNM's Ayanna Webster Roy, while PDP leader Watson Duke has yet to reveal his candidate. Additionally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced plans to engage a new U.S. administration on the Dragon Gas and Mannequin and the Mannequin Coquina project, crucial for the Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector. Speaking at the Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference, he highlighted regional energy collaborations with Guyana, Venezuela, Grenada, Suriname, and Barbados. He noted a projected US $10.2 billion energy investment from 2024 to 2027. Rowley defended Petrotrin's restructuring, citing profits from the Heritage Petroleum and Paria fuel trading. He expects the refinery bid to be negotiated in February and anticipates expanding Trinidad and Tobago's marine resources and explorations. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Now this morning we are on and we are chatting all things election, all things general elections. And this morning I have the privilege of sitting and chatting virtually with Michaela Pandey, who is the political leader of the Patriotic Front. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my dear. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning. Now, we heard an announcement yesterday that you have put forward a candidate for the Tobago West seat. So this means that you are also exploring having candidates here in Tobago East and Tobago West. Tell us more about that.
Of course, I don't think you can call yourself a national party if you don't contest Tobago. It is one country, it's Trinidad and Tobago, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So that was very important to us. And of course, if you want to form government, I think Tobago should have an equal say. So that was really the thinking behind it. And we're glad to have our wonderful candidate for Tobago West, Miss Aretha Clark, who I think is an absolute gem and can only add to the party and governance of this country.
Excellent. And can you tell us exactly how did you find your Tobago candidate and what was the entire process for finding candidates so far?
Well, you know, it's no different from any other candidate. We had put out that we were going to be screening and for people to put up their nominations. And then, of course, you come in and you do an interview. We have a screening panel, and that screening panel then chooses amongst candidates. And so it wasn't really anything different from all the other candidates who have been screened. And Miss Clark had put up her nomination, and she was screened and she was interviewed, and she's a fantastic lady, and we're just so proud to have her as part of our team. It's amazing.
Excellent. And so have you taken a look at the Tobago voter demographic, and noticed the culture of voting in Tobago, and how has that impacted the strategy that you're using moving forward?
Well, of course, I would be silly not to. But I think whether, Trinidad and Tobago on a whole, that people are looking for change. Tobagonians are remarkable people. They vote on performance. And history will show you that. The NER, the TOP, and then we had the PDP, and there are people who look at performance, they want change. And if you don't perform, they're very brave and very willing to say, well, listen, we're going to give somebody else a chance. So I'm glad to be part of this and give Tobagonians another option, a viable option. So that's really the thinking behind it.
And how has the overall campaign been going thus far for the Patriotic Front? And do you think that you have a real opportunity to win the 2025 general election?
Well, something, my dear, it's been going good because the only way that you can campaign, I mean, social media is important. You're a young lady yourself and you would know that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you need to be on the ground and speaking to people and finding out how people are feeling about things, and generally throughout the entire country and in Tobago itself, people they want change, they're fed up. People just want a better life. They want to be treated with dignity. Young people want opportunity. They don't want to feel stagnated, and we see what's happening in Tobago in terms of crime. Now it's a huge issue. They want the issues that are affecting them addressed. That's all that they want. Basic necessities, to have running water, have their roads fixed, to have good schools for, like I say, young people when they come out of school, to have opportunities. And whether you're in Trinidad or Tobago, we want the same thing. So campaigning has been going really good. And we see some of the other political parties based here in Trinidad mimicking some of the things that we're doing. So I guess flattery is always good. It means that we're doing something right. So yeah, it's been going good. Lots of young people are getting involved because it is their future that we are fighting for. So it's been going good. It's been going good. Very exciting.
Is the screening process still ongoing? Because we remember you did indicate that you would be vetting and having representatives for all 41 constituencies. Is that still your plan?
Of course, and it goes on, and it's quite interesting. As a people, we tend to be a little bit last minute, and nominations keep coming in, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yes, we're continuing with the screening process, and it's been going well. It's been going well. So I'm very humbled and grateful for that.
And what are some what are some geographically significant as well as specific issues that you have identified here in Tobago that is completely different from what's happening in Trinidad?
I want to reiterate that we tend to have a narrative of divisiveness of Trinidad and Tobago, and politics tends to, well, in Trinidad they want to divide on race. When we look at national politics, we seem to always say that Trinidad and Tobago are so far apart, and there's even the language that is used is so divisive. I've heard political parties based in Tobago doing that. I try not to do that because I think when you look at it on a whole, we're suffering from the same problems. I don't think that they're different, but there are a few things, of course, that I and my candidate thus far has identified, and that is, again, similar in Trinidad, but it is happening in Tobago as well, which is the cost of living is so high, and you're finding that people have 2 to 3 jobs. You're a caregiver For example, Miss Clark was explaining to me, you're a caregiver during the day and then a cleaning job in the evening. I think there's a huge issue of healthcare, again related to the cost of living in Tobago, where people are just not able to eat healthily as they used to before, as we say in the old time days. And you're seeing a rise in diabetes, strokes, and heart attacks. And again, that is because it is too expensive to eat properly. One of the huge issues, again, is the elderly. The elderly seem to have been forgotten in Tobago and in Trinidad as well. And I think that especially when you get older, that you should be protected and still be able to live with dignity. That seems to have been gone down by the wayside. And of course, one of the biggest issues that I see happening and the Patriotic Front sees happening in Tobago is security of land tenure. Regularization of land. We're seeing a lot of people, ownership of land in Tobago is a huge issue, and we will be on the ground and finding out what's going on. We have met with a number of people, and as an attorney, I can tell you that there are some very questionable deeds out there, but basic necessities, people have to be able to have food, water, clothing, shelter, a home. So those are things not too dissimilar from Trinidad at all. Of course, in terms of Tobago, I often wonder, having spent from a baby, I was always in Tobago, so I understand Tobagonians, I understand their culture. I'm just concerned that why Trinidad, where Tobago is not, Tobago in itself is not a top tourist destination by now, like the rest of Ireland. So it seems that they have all this potential, but nothing is happening there, and we need to move forward.
Thank you so much. And as you assess the Tobago voter demographic and population, do you think that you truly have a chance of winning the election in Tobago?
Of course. I mean, let's think about it. I don't think anybody enters an election to lose. But yes, I think that we have a chance because I believe that Tobagonians vote on performance and that we in Trinidad can learn a thing or two from them. They've shown that on numerous occasions, that they simply want people to perform, to do their duty, to fulfill the promises that they make during election time, and that they're willing, and they have shown they're willing to give a party who they believe or they like what they're saying, or to put their trust in them and give them a chance. So yeah, I think that we have an equal chance as anyone else contesting. I don't feel that we are at a disadvantage, and of course we will see when the election comes by.
Understood. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. We'll see you soon.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, right here in Tobago, located in Tobago local road, you guys. So here's what for all of my Tobago customers, you guys know for the longest while we haven't had a big sale here in Tobago. That's going to change. You know why? Because from this Thursday, right, February, Thursday the 13th until Saturday the 15th, we are going to be having a 3-day blowout sale, mega sale, you guys. Everything here going to sell out real fast. You can just imagine right now you're getting.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do, what to eat, how to get restful sleep. Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood or Food Hub in Darrell Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrell Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Love, soca, zest, and steam. Thursday, 13th February, the night before Valentine's Day. Fellas, come out with me. Ladies, you and your team to experience one of TNT's most requested artists, Young Brother.
She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up
Young Brother live at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
I wanna wine on your bumper, I know you like steam.
Young Brother live for an uncut, up-close performance.
You make it jump and you make it jump.
Alongside DJ Hottie, Ish and Selector Father, MC Sticks, King Legal, Busy and DJ Fusion. Early bird tickets, 3 ladies on 1 ticket, $450. Single, $200. Available at Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Royal Castle Outlet Scarborough, Ramabar, Joefield Junction, Mongrace, Crown Point Gas Station, and Village Vibes Bar. Call 750-6258 or 686-0898 for one night only. The King of Steam, Young Brother live, the night before Valentine at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
This is what I like the pot.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we have been speaking about all things general elections. And as we have been chatting about this, we have been chatting with the political party, the Patriotic Front, with Michaela Pandey. And before the break, we were talking about the fact that you have had a Tobago representative thus far that is representing Tobago West. Now, we want to know, do you still have that position for Tobago East open for nomination? And what is the process? How can persons get into contact to submit their nomination?
Thank you so much for asking that question. I deeply appreciate it. Yes, we do have that seat available so people can put up their nominations. It's a very easy process. I'll first of all tell you, you can contact us directly so we can guide you through it. But our phone number is 288-5020, so you can call us. Also, you can go online at thepatrioticfront.com and you'd be able to download the nomination form. And then you can email it to us, or any way that's sort of scan it, email it to us. But that position is definitely still up for screening. So we look forward to hearing from our Tobagonians brothers and sisters. So you can call us again at 288-5020, and we look forward to hearing from you.
And we know traditionally Trinidad and Tobago has had a two-party political system where persons mainly focus on the two main parties. Do you think that Trinidad and Tobago is ready to veer off into an alternative?
Well, if it's still ready for a two-party, it means we must get rid of one, which has happened in the past. I think people are ready for change. When we look at our history, there are times you will see, for example, with the NER, that was a party formed and created in a week, I think, a history with 33-3. So when people are ready, they're ready. And I think people are ready for change. Who doesn't want to do well? Who doesn't want to progress? Who doesn't want their children, their grandchildren to be able to have a brighter future? Who doesn't want that? And if people want that, they will vote for that. They want to see, they want to feel safe, they want to be, have opportunities to feel happy, to see their country going well, to be able to afford food, to be able to go out to a restaurant, to just have a life where their country is developed and they can see betterment for themselves and their families. So, two-party system, if one goes, if both goes, you never know what can happen. But I do know that people are ready for change and they deserve it.
What are
That's
some
my view.
of the unique policy positions that the Patriotic Front is putting forward for this upcoming election, and how do you think that would have an impact on the growth and development of the Trinidad and Tobago economy?
I'm not sure to understand your question, but
the policies that you are putting forward in this election, how do you think it would contribute to the growth and development of the Trinidad and Tobago economy?
Thank you. Forgive me, my dear. Thank you so much. I understand. The first thing is that we have to look at the economy on the whole, and we have been dependent on oil and gas, and now predominantly gas, and there has been absolutely no diversification, and that is why we are suffering in the way that we are now. You would have seen that with the closure of Petrotrin, we now have to use most of our foreign exchange to import oil. We need to diversify. We need to start to manufacture. We have to start to look at tourism in a more modern way. Sun, sea, and sand is good, but there's ecotourism, there is sports tourism, there is medical tourism. There's so many things that we could look at in terms of policy and diversification, because that way we will get people to come and invest in our country. We seem to just be waiting for the price of oil to go up and external factors to really determine how we survive as a country. And right now things are extremely difficult. Another thing is agriculture, and I think Tobago can play a huge part in agriculture and providing food not only for Trinidad and Tobago, for the Caribbean. We have in Trinidad and Tobago some of the most fertile land. It is not even something that is explored. Agriculture is no longer about cutting cane. It has modernized itself. The first thing a country needs to do is to be able to feed itself. So definitely food imports costing $5.67 billion, I believe it is, a year for 1.4 million people is astronomical and crazy. I also think in terms of the education system that we need to modernize the education system, and we have to look at that curriculum that is stifling our children right now. Sorry, my dear, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to ask you, what role does environmental resilience and climate change play in your overall campaign?
It's huge. It's huge because, of course, climate change is so important. And I have seen over the years, being in Tobago, talking to the fishermen, exactly how climate change is affecting the island in terms of erosion, in terms of the natural resources that you have. So it has to play an important role. We have an economic policy. We have to look at it in terms of the environment, how much we're going to invest into climate change. It is important how much we're going to invest into recycling, and why that in itself is so important. So you have to bring Tobagonians into the conversation, my sister. This is what is not happening. Politicians sit in a room and decide what is best for the people without going out there and touching base with the people. They decide what the people need, and yet they're so out of touch with the people and don't have a clue about that. So Tobagonians would have seen it. People get into power, and they forget the people exist, and they forget there's a huge divide, disconnect between the people and the politicians. So they don't know what's happening, and they don't know what the farmers are feeling, what the teachers are feeling, what the nurses are feeling. And that is something that we will address, that when you get into government, that your representatives continue to represent you. That's why they're called representatives. It is the House of Representatives. So ongoing policy, of course, we'll be launching our manifesto so that everyone can read about it. But it's also very important after winning an election that you continue to speak with people, because it's the people on the ground that know what's happening. The teachers can tell you what the problems are in the school. The nurses can tell you what the problems are in the hospital. The fishermen can tell you what the problems are out there. The guys who work in tourism can tell you what is happening out there. You don't sit in a room drinking from nice cups of tea and think that you will know what's happening. And of course, if you're there for 5 years, things change. So you have to be in communication with the people who you're representing, whether they've voted for you or not, and continue to work with them. And policy itself, as you'd ask me, will continue to evolve. That's the only way that I think that you can govern. You don't govern just in an election year, which is what we see happening. It's an ongoing thing. And you don't lose touch with the people. And that's one thing I learned from my father. He was a prime minister. You do not, and also from Mr. Manning, you do not lose touch with the people. You have to continuously be out there. And whilst you will have policy, you will have a manifesto, that too is not set in stone and must be able to evolve.
Totally understood. And in closing, is there anything you want to say to Tobagonians as it pertains to giving their support to you in the next general election?
I just want to say, first of all, thank you for everyone that has reached out to us. I'm humbled and deeply grateful and thankful for the support that we have gotten thus far from Tobago. We will be in Tobago, so we look forward to meeting with you. We still have nominations open for Tobago East, so please put up your nominations. We're looking forward to young people coming forward to stand up, answer the call to protect our future, your future, and just really thank the Tobagonian people for their support and their open-mindedness and their willingness to give us a chance. And we are a national party. It is Trinidad and Tobago. One country, one people, one future. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the Tobagonian people.
Thank you so much, Michaela, and we look forward to having you again when you are ready to announce your candidate for Tobago East. Guys, we are going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this, so see you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Zest and steam. Thursday, 13th February, the night before Valentine's Day. Fellas, come out with me. Ladies, you and your team to experience one of TNT's most requested artists, Young Brother.
She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up
Young Brother live at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
I wanna wine on your bumper, I know you like steam.
Young Brother live for an uncut, up-close performance.
You make it jump and you make it jump.
Alongside DJ Hottie, Ish and Selector Father, MC Sticks, King Legal, Busy and DJ Fusion. Early bird tickets, 3 ladies on 1 ticket, $450. Single, $200. Available at Pablo Supermarket, Argyle, Royal Castle Outlet, Scarborough, Ramabar, Joefield Junction, Mongrace, Crown Point Gas Station, and Village Vibes Bar. Call 750-6258 or 686-0898 for one night only. The King of Steam, Young Brother live, the night before Valentine at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. As you saw there, it's time to take it easy. This morning we are in studio and we are chatting with Mr. Everall Jones, who is an event promoter and one of the promoters in charge of this event. So this event is taking place this Thursday night. Tell us about it.
Hi, good morning, Chanel. Good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers. So this Thursday is about Take It Easy. That's the night before Valentine's Day. The perfect way to bring in or to start the Valentine's Day with Young Brother. That's this Thursday. It starts at 9 at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall, Tobago.
Right. And so tell us, what was the conception behind this event and why you felt like this was the time to do something like this?
To be very honest, it's something that I would always sit with the team and we would always come up with different ideas, This one, we decided that, let's do something to start the Valentine's Day, to bring in the Valentine's Day. That is how we came up with Take It Easy. And the fact that Young Brother is somebody who, at this point in time, a lot of persons love. What is the best way to start your Valentine's Day with Young Brother?
Right. And what type of vibe can people expect when they come to the event on Thursday night?
It's a great vibes, lots of fun. We have the Ocean Band performing as well. They will be coming on after Young Brother. We have the VIP section as well there. So it's a vibes with love. It's a vibes with full of giveaways as well that we have in store for persons. So the only place to be this Thursday is at Village Vibes Bar Mason Hall. So I don't think anybody want to miss out this opportunity. I'm not gonna give it away. I want everybody to be there to experience this event. It's an event that just be there.
Right. And it says that you could get tickets at Royal Castle as well as the gas station in Crown Point, Village Vibes Bar, and some other locations. Can you remind the patrons of where they can go to get those tickets, and can they pay at the venue when they come?
Yes, they could pay at the venue when they come. They could get it at Rama's Bar, that is at Joefield Junction. They could also get it at Pablo's Supermarket. They could contact me at 6860898 if they also want tickets. And they could also call 750-6258 as well. And they could get it at Village Vibes Bar Mason Hall.
Right. And why is it so important for persons to really come out and support local promoters, specifically during this carnival season?
For quite a while, many persons would say that most events are held by, or Tobago don't have much events on a whole. So the truth is, keeping an event in Tobago is something it's not an easy task to do, to be quite honest. So we always ask persons to come out and support, because Tobagonians would always say we don't have nothing here. So that's why we take the opportunity to try to create an event that they could come out, they could have fun, a clean event. So that's why we always on the drawing board looking at opportunities to have events for the Tobagonians.
And where can we see your company going in terms of future events and being able to continue to support?
We have a lot in store. For 2025, we're still on the drawing board with a lot of events. There's a lot of activities that, we have planning. So after each event, we always discussing different ways to do things and to improve on events that we would have done previously. So me being the head of the Shorty promotion, it is something that we look at. What is the next step? How are we going to make each event greater and better each year or each time we do an event? So for 2025, we have a lot in store. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. There's a lot to happen for 2025.
And what type of support do you think promoters in Tobago really need to continue to provide quality events?
What to say? For me personally, I think that we need the support of the Tobagonians to come out and support any event that the local promoters would keep at the end of the day.
Right. And when it comes to resources, what type of resources would you like to see allocated to this industry to ensure that it continues to thrive?
First, we would hope that I would say the Division of Tourism, our festival, they are always welcome to come on board to help, to boost the entertainment or industry on the island. Because right now, for this event, our sponsors are Carib, we have Magnum, we have Campari on board. So these are some of our sponsors that usually help us in these type of events. So we would like to see more local companies come on board and help to boost the industry in Tobago.
Right. And do you plan on possibly partnering by sending proposals to them for them to be a part of some of the future events and stuff like that?
Sure, not a problem. We don't have an issue with bringing on local businesses in Tobago to be a part of this event.
What do you think the Tobago patrons are really looking for right now when it comes to events and supporting the industry?
What they're looking for, I would say, is the experience. They want to be able to go out and have that same experience that they would when they jump on a flight and they go to Trinidad to be a part of an event in Trinidad. They are looking for that same experience right here in Tobago, and that is something that we are looking to build. And even this Thursday, the entire space at Village Vibes Bar is going to be transformed this Thursday to create that experience that you would normally get in those fetes that many persons would travel to Trinidad to experience.
Definitely. And when it comes to the tickets, how much are the tickets?
So we have 3 ladies on 1 ticket for $450. Men are $200. There are limited stocks throughout all the different ticket outlets. So I am saying to you guys, don't wait until last minute to try to get your ticket because the price at the door is going to be different. So take this opportunity now, between now and tomorrow, to get your tickets because it have limited stocks.
Understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for being a part of the discussion this morning. Even as we round up, is there anything that you want to tell Tobagonians?
This Thursday, the only place to be is at Village Vibes Bar. Fellas, bring the ladies. Come out. Young brother is going to be there singing for all these ladies. Take it easy. It's the perfect way to start the Valentine's Day. Village Vibes Bar Mason Hall. That's this Thursday.
Right. So you're saying that we should make our Valentine's Day date?
Of course. You have to start it now. You have to create that, let the date start on Thursday into Friday.
Okay.
And then the gentlemen could do whatever they want Friday morning. But we know for sure the perfect way to start that day is from Thursday.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to it. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. So see you soon.
Love, soca, zest, and steam. Thursday, 13th February, the night before Valentine's Day. Fellas, come out with me. Ladies, you and your team to experience one of TNT's most requested artists, Young Brother.
She said, take it easy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up
Young Brother live at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
I wanna wine on your bumper, I know you like steam.
Young Brother live for an uncut, up-close performance.
You make it jump and you make it jump.
Alongside DJ Hottie, Ish and Selector Father, MC Sticks, King Legal, Busy and DJ Fusion. Early bird tickets, 3 ladies on 1 ticket, $450. Single, $200. Available at Pablo Supermarket, Argyle, Royal Castle Outlet, Scarborough, Ramabar, Joefield Junction, Mongrace, Crown Point Gas Station, and Village Vibes Bar. Call 750-6258 or 686-0898 for one night only. The King of Steam, Young Brother live, the night before Valentine at Village Vibes Bar, Mason Hall.
This is what I like.
Morning and welcome back, guys. That is the end of our show here. We want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments. And thank you for all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, we want to extend sincere gratitude to Michaela Pandey and the Patriotic Front for coming on and introducing this morning her candidate for Tobago West. And we want to thank the team at Take It Easy for their event that's happening this Thursday night. Now, again, we want to say thank you and have a great day.